for me, the social aspect of social practice is the most important. I think that we, just as human beings, artists or otherwise, live at a time where we're really in a process of redefining what it means for us to be together, in large communities and in small communities, and shifting communities. What does it mean to be together? And I think that one of the special gifts that artists have to offer in the midst of all of that kind of churning and thinking about new ways, is the idea of trying different things, of experimentation, but also a willingness to inhabit kind of in between spaces that are not necessarily clearly defined, as one thing or another. I think for me, the concept of artistic citizenship is one kind of like a subcategory to social practice that I find really critical. Because to me, artistic citizenship has to do with the real responsibility of a human being who is an artist within a community, and it kind of prescribes kind of a set of marching orders for how to behave in groups and how to be together in the world.
Would you describe one of the works that you've been doing recently that intersects with social practice?
Sure.
For example.
So I actually just last Friday finished a project with my partner and collaborator, Atue Ramos Fermin. We did a project in collaboration with a local advocacy organization. We're based in the Bronx, and we did a project using the archive of an organization who is the steward of the Bronx River, which is a waterway not far from here, and it's the only freshwater river in all of New York City. And the Bronx River Alliance is a coalition of more than 60 organizations that range from nonprofits to government agencies to just people, who are working together to really, make the river healthier for the future. So we took their archive and started kind of sorting through it, seeing kind of what was there, and almost immediately it became really clear that the story of the Bronx River was really this story of just kind of everyday people in the Bronx, and they were not people who had necessarily been recognized by history, even though this was something that had been going on for more than 30 years at this point. But it was just teenagers and their parents and firefighters and police officers and Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and just folks who decided to get together to help to clean the river. So my partner and I organized all of these materials, most of which are snapshots, into a timeline that we have invited members of the community to contribute to over the next month, through the course of this exhibition. And we've organized a series of conversations around both the Bronx River and also just waterways within the Bronx in general. So the combination of the timeline as kind of an interactive structure for people to kind of share their own images and objects and stories, and these public panels that are these kind of concentrated moments for people to come together to talk about issues, I think is really, I'm really excited about this project because it was an opportunity to do something that seemed very rooted in history, but also very much connected to really, really important things that are happening right now. So that's, I think, I think that's a great example.
What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that face social practice and social practice artists?
going back again to this idea of social practice being rooted in being social, it's very hard to work together. And I think it's not just for artists. It's hard for humans to work together. And I think that as an artist who often finds themselves approaching other people and inviting them into collaborations, into these kind of new ways of being social, there are things just about humans being with other humans that are very hard. And you know, in my own work, I've encountered that in particular, working with people who kind of people who perceive themselves as being experts or representatives of a certain group of people, and feeling like they needed to be in charge of a project that you know was more of a collaborative effort, and so kind of struggles over direction and compromise and things like that. I think are really the hardest part of working in any kind of collaborative situation.